My beloved child, before you move on with your day, before you allow another anxious thought to settle into your mind, before you carry one more burden upon your shoulders, I want you to pause for a moment and listen to me. There is something I need you to hear today. There is something your weary heart has been longing for, even if you have struggled to find the words to express it. I see you. I know what you have been carrying. I know the silent battles that no one else knows about. I know the worries that wake you up in the middle of the night and the questions that remain unanswered. I know the disappointments that have left scars upon your heart. I know the tears that never fell because you were trying to stay strong. My child, none of these things have escaped my notice. I have watched you try to hold everything together. I have seen you smile when your heart was hurting. I have seen you encourage others, while secretly wondering who would encourage you. I have seen you continue moving forward, even when every step felt heavy. And today I want you to understand something that can change everything. You do not have to carry these burdens alone anymore. My beloved child, I am bringing peace to your heart today. Not the kind of peace that depends on circumstances, not the kind of peace that comes when every problem disappears, and not the kind of peace that lasts only for a moment before fear returns. The peace I am bringing is deeper than that. It is stronger than that. It is a peace that remains steady even when storms are raging around you. It is a peace that stands firm when answers have not yet arrived. It is a peace that flows from my presence into the deepest places of your soul. Listen closely. I know there have been moments when you felt overwhelmed. There have been days when the future seemed uncertain. There have been nights when your thoughts raced from one concern to another, searching for solutions, searching for relief, searching for certainty. Yet every time your mind became crowded with fear, I remained beside you. Every time you felt alone, I remained near. Every time you wondered whether you would make it through, I was already preparing the strength you would need for the next step. My child, fear has been speaking loudly, but my voice is greater. Fear tells you that things will never change, but I tell you that I am still working. Fear tells you that you are forgotten, but I tell you that your name is written upon my heart. Fear tells you that you have reached the end of your strength, but I tell you that my strength is more than enough for you. You have listened to the voice of worry for too long. You have allowed anxiety to sit in places that belong to trust. Today I am gently asking you to release those burdens into my hands. You were never created to carry tomorrow before it arrives. You were never designed to solve every problem by yourself. You were never meant to walk through life without leaning upon me. Imagine a shepherd leading his sheep through a dark valley. The sheep cannot see what lies ahead. They do not understand the path. They do not know where the shepherd is leading them, yet they continue because they trust the one who walks before them. My child, you are not lost. You are being led. You are not abandoned. You are being guided. Even when the road seems uncertain, I know exactly where I am taking you. There are blessings ahead that you cannot yet see. There are answers already moving toward you. There are doors I am preparing to open at the right time. There are lessons I am teaching you in this season that will strengthen you for the future I have prepared. Do not mistake silence for absence. Do not mistake waiting for rejection. Do not mistake delay for defeat. I want you to remember Joseph. There were moments when Joseph could have believed that his story was over. He was misunderstood. He was betrayed. He was forgotten. He found himself in places he never expected to be. Yet through every hardship, I was still working behind the scenes. What others intended for harm, I transformed for good. What looked like setbacks became stepping stones. What appeared to be the end became the pathway to fulfillment. My child, there may be things in your life right now that do not make sense. There may be situations that leave you confused. There may be prayers that seem unanswered. But just as I was working in Joseph's story when he could not see it, I am working in yours. Nothing is wasted in my hands. Not your pain, not your waiting, not your disappointments, and not even your mistakes. I have the ability to bring beauty from ashes, strength from weakness, and hope from despair. The chapters you struggle to understand today may become the testimony that encourages someone else tomorrow. So breathe, my beloved child. Release the pressure you have been carrying. Release the fear that has been weighing upon your mind. Release the need to control every outcome. You do not have to know every answer because you know me, and I know the end from the beginning. I know every detail of your journey. I know every challenge you will face. I know every victory that awaits you. Most importantly, I know how to bring you safely through every season. My peace is already flowing toward you. Let it settle upon your heart. Let it quiet the noise within your mind. Let it remind you that you are loved more deeply than you can imagine. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are not beyond hope. You are my child, and I am holding you even now. So rest in my presence. Rest in my promises. Rest in the certainty that I am still writing your story. The night may feel long, but dawn is coming. The storm may feel intense, but it will not last forever. The valley may seem deep, but I will lead you through it. And when you look back, you will discover that I was with you every step of the way, bringing peace to your heart even before you realized it had arrived. My beloved child, there is something else I want you to understand. Peace does not come from knowing everything that will happen tomorrow. Peace comes from knowing the one who holds tomorrow in his hands. So many times you have searched for certainty when what you truly needed was trust. You have wanted answers while I have been offering my presence. You have wanted a map while I have been extending my hand. Listen closely, because my presence is greater than any answer you are seeking. There are moments when I intentionally allow you to walk by faith because faith draws you closer to me. If you knew every detail of the journey ahead, you might rely upon your own understanding. But when the path is unclear, you learn to listen for my voice. You learn to lean upon my wisdom. You learn to discover that I am far more faithful than you ever imagined. My child, I know that waiting has not been easy for you. I know there have been days when you wondered why things were taking so long. I know there have been moments when you questioned whether your prayers were reaching heaven. I know there have been times when you looked around and saw others moving forward while you felt as though you were standing still. Yet I want you to hear me clearly today. Your waiting has never been wasted. Even now, while you think little is happening, I am working beneath the surface in ways you cannot see. Just as a seed grows underground long before it breaks through the soil, I have been nurturing things in your life that are not yet visible. The roots are forming. The foundation is being strengthened. The preparation is taking place. Many people celebrate the harvest, but few understand the hidden season of growth. You are in a season where much is happening beneath the surface. Do not become discouraged because you cannot yet see it. The seed does not question whether it is growing. The dawn does not question whether morning will come. The river does not question whether it will reach the sea. And you, my child, do not need to question whether I am working, because I am. Remember David before he became king. Long before the crown ever touched his head, he spent countless days tending sheep in lonely fields. Many overlooked him. Many underestimated him. Even his own family did not fully understand what I was preparing him for. Yet while David watched over sheep, I was preparing him to shepherd a nation. The quiet seasons were not punishment. They were preparation. The hidden seasons were not rejection. They were development. The waiting seasons were not abandonment. They were positioning. My child, what you see as delay, I see as preparation. What you see as inactivity, I see as growth. What you see as uncertainty, I see as opportunity. Trust me enough to believe that I know what I am doing. I have never lost sight of your future. I have never forgotten the promises I have spoken over your life. I have never abandoned the work I began within you. You may not understand every step, but you can trust the one who is guiding them. While you are waiting, I want you to learn something precious. I want you to learn how to rest. Not merely physical rest, and not simply taking a break from your responsibilities. I am speaking of the kind of rest that comes when your soul settles into my care. There is a difference between carrying a burden and surrendering it. Many of my children bring their worries to me, only to pick them back up again moments later. They pray, but they continue carrying the weight. They ask for help, but they refuse to release control. My beloved child, surrender is not weakness. Surrender is trust. Surrender is placing your concerns into my hands and believing that I am capable of handling them. Surrender is saying, Father, I do not understand this situation, but I trust you. Surrender is choosing peace, even before circumstances change. I know there are situations close to your heart. There are people you care about deeply. There are dreams you have carried for years. There are prayers that have become part of your daily conversation with me. And because these things matter to you, they matter to me. Never think that your concerns are too small for my attention. Never believe that your tears go unnoticed. Never imagine that your struggles are insignificant. I care about every detail of your life. I care about the things that keep you awake. I care about the disappointments you rarely speak about. I care about the hopes you have hidden within your heart. I care because you are my child. When a loving father sees his child hurting, he does not ignore their pain. He moves closer. He comforts. He reassures. He strengthens. And that is exactly what I am doing for you now. I am moving closer. I am surrounding you with my love. I am strengthening what has become weary. I am healing what has become wounded. I am restoring what has become broken. Do not allow your current circumstances to define your future. The chapter you are living right now is not the entire story. There is more ahead. There are pages still being written. There are blessings still unfolding. There are victories you have not yet imagined. You may feel like you are standing in the middle of the night, but the morning is already on its way. You may feel surrounded by clouds, but the sun has not disappeared. You may feel uncertain about the future, but I remain firmly in control. Nothing catches me by surprise. Nothing is beyond my reach. Nothing is impossible for me. So lift your eyes, my child. Look beyond the fear. Look beyond the disappointment. Look beyond the temporary struggle. Look toward me. The peace you are searching for is found in my presence. The strength you need is found in my presence. The hope you long for is found in my presence. Stay close to me, and you will discover that the storms around you no longer have the power to steal the calm I have placed within you. For I am bringing peace to your heart today, and that peace is not temporary. It is the beginning of a deeper trust, a stronger faith, and a closer walk with me than you have ever known before. My beloved child, there are times when you have looked at your life and wondered whether you have missed something. You have questioned your decisions. You have replayed conversations in your mind. You have examined your past and wondered whether certain mistakes have permanently altered your future. I want you to listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. Your story is not defined by your worst day. Your future is not determined by your greatest failure. Your identity is not found in the mistakes you have made. Your identity is found in the fact that you belong to me. Too often, you have been carrying guilt that I never intended for you to carry. You have allowed old regrets to follow you into new seasons. You have allowed memories of past failures to cloud your view of what I am doing today. My child, there is a difference between learning from your past and living in your past. I can use your experiences to teach you wisdom, but I do not want your past to become a prison. I am calling you forward. I am inviting you into greater freedom. I am asking you to release the things that I have already forgiven. Think about Peter. He loved me deeply. Yet there came a moment when fear overtook him. In one of the most difficult moments of his life, he denied that he even knew me. Imagine the shame he must have felt afterward. Imagine the disappointment he carried within his heart. Yet I did not abandon him. I did not cast him aside. I did not decide that his failure had disqualified him from his purpose. Instead, I restored him. I reminded him that my plans for his life were still alive. What appeared to be the end of his story became the beginning of a greater chapter. My child, I am a God of restoration. I see beyond your failures. I see beyond your weaknesses. I see beyond the moments when you stumbled. I see the person I created you to become. I see the purpose that still rests upon your life. I see the growth that is taking place within you, even when you struggle to recognize it yourself. Do not allow yesterday's mistakes to steal today's peace. Do not allow old wounds to prevent new healing. Do not allow fear of failure to keep you from moving forward. There are some things that you have been carrying for so long that they have started to feel normal. Worry has become familiar. Anxiety has become routine. Doubt has become a frequent visitor. Yet just because something has been with you for a long time does not mean it belongs in your life forever. I am gently breaking chains that you thought would never be broken. I am healing areas of your heart that you thought would always remain wounded. I am restoring confidence where fear once lived. I am replacing confusion with clarity and replacing heaviness with peace. My beloved child, I know there are moments when you feel tired, not physically tired alone, but tired deep within your soul. Tired of waiting, tired of struggling, tired of carrying responsibilities, tired of fighting battles that seem to continue longer than expected. I know those moments. I have seen every one of them. I have watched you continue moving forward when you felt like giving up. I have watched you remain faithful when no one else noticed. I have watched you choose hope when discouragement tried to convince you otherwise. And I want you to know that your perseverance has not gone unnoticed. Every act of faith matters. Every prayer matters. Every moment of trust matters. Every step of obedience matters. Even the smallest act of faith can create ripples that extend far beyond what you can currently see. Sometimes you imagine that only large victories matter to me, but I see the quiet victories too. I see the days when you chose kindness, despite your pain. I see the moments when you forgave someone who hurt you. I see the times when you continued believing even while waiting for answers. Those moments are precious to me. My child, do not underestimate what I can do with a willing heart. You may feel ordinary, but I specialize in doing extraordinary things through ordinary people. Moses felt inadequate. David felt overlooked. Esther felt uncertain. Gideon felt weak. Yet each one discovered that their limitations did not limit me. Their weakness became an opportunity for my strength to be revealed. Their uncertainty became a stage upon which my faithfulness could be displayed. The same is true for you. You do not need to have everything figured out. You do not need to know every answer. You do not need to possess perfect strength. You simply need to remain close to me. When you walk with me, I will guide you one step at a time. I will provide wisdom when you need direction. I will provide strength when you feel weak. I will provide peace when circumstances try to overwhelm you. I will provide comfort when your heart feels troubled. My provision is not limited by your situation. My faithfulness is not limited by your understanding. My love is not limited by your imperfections. As a river continues flowing despite rocks along its path, my plans for your life continue moving forward despite obstacles that arise. The rocks may alter the course for a moment, but they cannot stop the flow entirely. In the same way, challenges may slow you down, but they cannot cancel what I have ordained for your life. The difficulties you face today are not greater than the grace I have prepared for tomorrow. So take a deep breath, my beloved child. Release the pressure to have everything under control. Release the burden of trying to carry tomorrow before it arrives. Release the fear that whispers worst-case scenarios into your mind. I am here. I have not moved. I have not forgotten you. I have not abandoned you. I am still guiding your steps. I am still working behind the scenes. I am still opening doors that no one can shut. I am still bringing peace to your heart, one moment at a time. And as you continue forward, you will begin to notice something changing within you. The fears that once controlled your thoughts will begin losing their power. The worries that once consumed your attention will begin fading into the background. The peace I am planting within your heart will grow stronger. What begins today as a gentle reassurance will become a steady confidence. What begins today as a quiet sense of calm will become a firm foundation beneath your feet. And through it all, you will discover that my presence has been carrying you even when you thought you were walking alone. My beloved child, one of the greatest things I want to teach you is how to trust me when you cannot trace what I am doing. It is easy to have confidence when everything is going according to your plans. It is easy to feel secure when the answers are visible and the path ahead is clear. But true faith is formed when you continue walking even when you cannot see the entire road before you. True trust grows when you choose to believe my promises despite the uncertainty surrounding you. There have been seasons in your life when you felt as though you were standing at a crossroads, unsure which direction to take. You prayed for clarity. You asked for guidance. You wanted certainty before taking the next step. Yet many times, instead of revealing the entire journey, I simply illuminated the next step before you. That was not because I was withholding something good from you. It was because I was teaching you to walk hand in hand with me. If I revealed everything at once, you might depend upon information. But when I reveal one step at a time, you learn to depend upon me. My child, I know how difficult uncertainty can feel. I know that your mind naturally wants answers. You want to know how things will work out. You want to know when the breakthrough will arrive. You want to know when the waiting will end. You want reassurance that everything will be all right. And today I am giving you that reassurance, not by explaining every detail, but by reminding you who I am. I am the one who has carried you through every challenge you have faced so far. I am the one who has provided when you thought resources would run out. I am the one who has comforted you during heartbreak and strengthened you during weakness. The same God who brought you through yesterday is already standing in your tomorrow. Think about Elijah when he found himself exhausted and discouraged. After witnessing great victories, he reached a place where fear and weariness overwhelmed him. He felt alone, he felt depleted, he felt as though he could not continue. Yet even in that low moment, I did not abandon him. I cared for him, I strengthened him, I reminded him that he was not alone and that my work in his life was not finished. My child, if you have been feeling emotionally drained, spiritually exhausted, or mentally overwhelmed, I want you to know that I understand. I am not disappointed in your weariness. I am inviting you to bring it to me. You do not have to pretend to be stronger than you are. You do not have to hide your struggles from me. You do not have to act as though everything is fine when your heart is hurting. I already know what you are carrying. I already know where you feel weak. I already know the questions that linger in your mind. And because I know, I am able to meet you exactly where you are. Come to me with your burdens. Come to me with your doubts. Come to me with your fears. I am not asking you to carry them alone. I am asking you to place them into my hands. My beloved child, there is a peace that comes when you finally stop fighting battles that were never yours to fight. There is a freedom that comes when you stop trying to control things that only I can control. Many of the burdens weighing upon your heart today are burdens that I never intended for you to carry. You were not created to sustain yourself through your own strength. You were created to draw strength from me. Just as branches receive life from the vine, your soul receives strength from remaining connected to my presence. Sometimes you become discouraged because you compare your journey to someone else's. You look at their progress and wonder why your path seems different. You see their blessings and question your own timing. Yet, my child, no two journeys are exactly the same. The plans I have for you are uniquely designed for your life. What I am building in you may require a different season. What I am preparing you for may require a different process. Trust my timing even when it differs from your expectations. I see the complete picture, while you only see a small portion of it. Remember Esther. Before she stepped into her purpose, there was a season of preparation. Before she stood before a king, there was a process she had to walk through. What seemed like ordinary moments were actually preparing her for an extraordinary assignment. In the same way, there are things happening in your life right now that may appear ordinary, but they are preparing you for something greater than you currently understand. The conversations, lessons, challenges, and opportunities you encounter today may all become part of the story I am writing for tomorrow. Do not despise small beginnings. Do not overlook quiet seasons. Do not assume that because something feels insignificant, it lacks purpose. Some of the greatest transformations begin in ways that seem small at first. A mighty tree begins as a seed. A powerful river begins as a stream. A life-changing testimony often begins with a single act of faith. Continue trusting me in the small things, and you will discover that I am working through them in ways that exceed your expectations. My child, I also want you to know that you are deeply loved, not because of what you accomplish, not because of how strong you appear, not because of how perfectly you perform. You are loved simply because you are mine. There is nothing you can do that would make me love you more, and there is nothing you can do that would make me stop loving you. My love is not based upon your performance. My love is rooted in my character. It remains steady when circumstances change. It remains faithful when emotions fluctuate. It remains present when you feel uncertain, when fear whispers that you are alone. Remember my love. When disappointment tells you to give up, remember my love. When anxiety tries to steal your peace, remember my love. Let my love become an anchor for your soul. Let it remind you that you are held, protected, and cared for even when life feels unpredictable. The storms may come, but they cannot separate you from my love. The challenges may arise, but they cannot remove my hand from your life. The waiting may continue for a season, but it cannot cancel my promises. So rest, my beloved child. Rest in the assurance that I am with you. Rest in the certainty that I am working. Rest in the confidence that your future remains secure in my hands. The peace I am bringing to your heart today is not dependent upon perfect circumstances. It is rooted in my unchanging presence. And as you continue to walk with me, that peace will become stronger, deeper, and more firmly established within you than ever before. My beloved child, there will be moments when the weight of life tries to convince you that you are carrying more than you can bear. There will be days when responsibilities seem endless, when challenges appear larger than your strength, and when uncertainty feels like a shadow following you wherever you go. In those moments, I want you to remember something important. You were never meant to carry life by yourself. From the very beginning, my desire has been for you to walk with me, not ahead of me and not behind me, but beside me. When you try to carry everything alone, your heart becomes weary, your mind becomes overwhelmed, your spirit becomes exhausted. But when you walk with me, you discover that the burdens become lighter because I am carrying what you cannot. I know there have been times when you felt as though no one truly understood what you were going through. You have shared pieces of your story, yet some parts remained hidden because they were difficult to explain. There are struggles you have faced silently. There are disappointments you have carried privately. There are fears you have wrestled with in the quiet moments when no one else was around. Yet, my child, nothing about your journey is hidden from me. I know every detail. I know every prayer you whispered through tears. I know every sigh that came from a weary heart. I know every moment when you felt like giving up but somehow found the strength to keep moving forward. I was there then, and I am here now. Listen closely, because I want this truth to settle deeply within your heart. The fact that you are still standing is evidence of my faithfulness. The fact that you are still hoping is evidence of my grace. The fact that you are still seeking me despite everything you have faced is evidence that I have been sustaining you all along. There were moments when you thought you would not make it through. There were situations that seemed impossible to overcome. There were nights that felt endless and valleys that felt too deep. Yet here you are. You may not be where you want to be, but you are not where you used to be. I have been guiding you through every season, even when you could not recognize my hand at work. My child, sometimes you focus so much on what is missing that you overlook what I have already done. You become so concerned about the doors that have not opened that you forget the doors I have already opened. You become so focused on unanswered questions that you overlook the prayers I have already answered. Today, I want you to pause and remember my faithfulness. Think about the situations I have already brought you through. Think about the obstacles that once seemed impossible but are now behind you. Think about the moments when provision arrived at exactly the right time. Think about the times when comfort came when you needed it most. Those moments were not accidents. They were reminders that I have always been with you. Remember Moses standing before the sea with an impossible situation in front of him. The path forward seemed blocked. The future appeared uncertain. Fear surrounded him from every side. Yet what looked like a dead end became a place where my power was revealed. My child, some situations in your life may feel like dead ends right now. You may be looking at circumstances that seem impossible to overcome. You may wonder how things will ever change, but I want you to know that I specialize in making a way where there seems to be no way. What appears impossible to you is never impossible to me. What looks like an ending may actually be the beginning of something greater than you imagined. Do not allow fear to become the author of your expectations. Fear always predicts defeat. Fear always assumes the worst. Fear always magnifies obstacles while minimizing possibilities. But I am calling you to see through the eyes of faith. Faith does not deny that challenges exist. Faith simply believes that I am greater than those challenges. Faith looks beyond the obstacle and sees my ability. Faith looks beyond the delay and sees my timing. Faith looks beyond the uncertainty and sees my faithfulness. My beloved child, there are blessings that are already moving toward you. There are answers developing behind the scenes. There are opportunities being prepared that you cannot yet see. Just because something has not arrived does not mean it is not on its way. Trust the process. Trust my timing. Trust my wisdom. I know that waiting can be uncomfortable, but sometimes the waiting season is where the deepest growth takes place. It is where character is strengthened. It is where faith matures. It is where dependence upon me becomes deeper than ever before. I want you to think of a river flowing steadily toward its destination. The river does not stop because rocks appear in its path. It does not turn back because obstacles emerge. Instead, it continues moving forward, finding a way around whatever stands before it. My child, I am teaching you to move forward with that same confidence. Challenges may arise, but they do not have the authority to stop my purpose for your life. Delays may come, but they do not have the power to cancel my promises. Difficult seasons may appear, but they cannot prevent the fulfillment of what I have spoken over you. You are stronger than you realize, because my strength is working within you. You are more resilient than you know, because my grace has been sustaining you. You are more capable than you believe, because I am equipping you day by day. Stop measuring yourself solely by your own abilities. Stop judging your future based upon your current limitations. Begin seeing yourself through my eyes. I see potential where you see weakness. I see growth where you see struggle. I see purpose where you see confusion. I see possibilities where you see obstacles. My child, the peace I am bringing to your heart today is not merely meant to comfort you for a moment. It is meant to transform the way you walk through every season that lies ahead. I want you to become so anchored in my presence that circumstances no longer dictate your peace. I want you to become so confident in my love that fear loses its influence over your decisions. I want you to become so aware of my faithfulness that even uncertainty cannot shake your trust. As you continue forward, there will be opportunities to worry, opportunities to doubt, and opportunities to become discouraged. But there will also be opportunities to trust me, opportunities to rest in my promises, and opportunities to witness my faithfulness in ways you have never seen before. Choose trust, choose faith, choose peace, not because every answer has arrived, but because I am with you. And when I am with you, you have everything you truly need. So lift your head, my beloved child. The story is not over. The waiting is not forever. The struggle is not the final chapter. I am still writing your story, and the pages ahead contain more hope, more healing, more restoration, and more peace than you can currently imagine. Stay close to me, and let my peace continue settling deeper into your heart, because I am leading you toward brighter days, and I will never leave your side. My beloved child, there is another truth I want to plant deeply within your heart today. The storms you face do not have the authority to determine your destiny. The challenges you encounter do not have the power to rewrite the plans I have for your life. So often, when difficulties arise, you begin to question whether you are still on the right path. You wonder whether the obstacles mean you have somehow missed my will. Yet I want you to understand that challenges are not always signs that you are moving in the wrong direction. Sometimes they are evidence that you are moving forward into the very things I have prepared for you. Think about Joseph once again. Every step of his journey seemed to move him farther away from the dream I had given him. He was betrayed by those closest to him. He was sold into slavery. He was falsely accused. He was forgotten in prison. If Joseph had judged his future solely by his circumstances, he might have concluded that the promise would never come to pass. Yet while he could only see the struggle around him, I could see the purpose ahead of him. Every setback was positioning him. Every delay was preparing him. Every hardship was shaping him into the person he needed to become. My child, there are moments when your life may feel similar. You may feel as though you are moving backward when I am actually positioning you for something greater than you realize. Listen closely. The process is often just as important as the promise. The preparation is often just as valuable as the destination. If I immediately gave you everything you asked for, you might receive the blessing without developing the character needed to sustain it. But because I love you, I care not only about where you are going, but also about who you are becoming along the way. That is why some seasons feel longer than expected. That is why some lessons seem to repeat themselves. I am not delaying your future. I am preparing you for it. My child, I know there are dreams hidden within your heart. Some of them are dreams you have spoken about openly. Others are dreams you have barely shared with anyone because they feel too precious, too personal, or perhaps too impossible. I know every one of them. I know the desires that make your eyes light up. I know the hopes that have carried you through difficult seasons. I know the prayers you have whispered when no one else was listening. And I want you to remember that I am the one who placed many of those desires within you. Do not lose hope simply because the timing has not unfolded according to your expectations. A farmer does not plant a seed one day and expect a harvest the next morning. He understands that growth requires time. He understands that roots must develop before fruit appears. He understands that there are seasons that cannot be rushed. In the same way, there are things I am growing within your life that require patience. There are blessings that require preparation. There are answers that require the right timing. What feels slow to you is often my careful work unfolding exactly as it should. My beloved child, do not let impatience steal your peace. Do not allow frustration to rob you of the joy available to you today. There is beauty even in this season. There are lessons that will strengthen you. There are moments that will become treasured memories. There are opportunities to experience my presence in ways you might never have known during easier times. Some of the deepest intimacy you will ever experience with me is formed during seasons when you learn to trust me despite not having all the answers. Remember Paul and Silas. They found themselves in circumstances that seemed unfair and discouraging. They could have surrendered to bitterness. They could have allowed despair to take root in their hearts. Instead, they chose faith. They chose trust. They chose to keep their focus on me even in the middle of their struggle. And because of that, they witnessed my power in a remarkable way. My child, your peace is not determined by your surroundings. Your peace is determined by where your focus rests. When your focus remains fixed upon problems, anxiety grows stronger. But when your focus remains fixed upon me, peace begins to rise within your heart. That does not mean you ignore reality. It means you remember that reality is not greater than my power. The challenges you face are real, but so is my faithfulness. The obstacles are real, but so is my ability to overcome them. The waiting is real, but so is the promise that I am working all things together for your good. Never allow temporary circumstances to convince you that my eternal promises have changed. What I have spoken remains true. What I have promised remains secure. What I have begun, I will continue. My child, there are times when you become discouraged because you feel as though your progress is too small. You compare where you are to where you hoped you would be by now. You focus on how far you still have to go, instead of recognizing how far you have already come. But I see every step. I see every victory, even the ones that seem small to you. I see every moment when you choose faith instead of fear. I see every time you rise after disappointment. I see every act of obedience, every prayer, every sacrifice, and every decision to trust me. Nothing is overlooked. Nothing is forgotten. You are growing more than you realize. You are stronger than you think. You are becoming the person I created you to be, even when the process feels slow. Growth often happens gradually, just as the dawn slowly pushes back the darkness, until morning fills the sky. I am steadily transforming your heart, renewing your mind and strengthening your faith. One day you will look back and realize that the very season you once wanted to escape was the season that shaped you in ways you could never have imagined. So be encouraged today, my beloved child. The road ahead is not empty of hope. The future is not uncertain in my eyes. The story is not drifting without direction. I am guiding every step. I am watching over every detail. I am opening doors at the proper time and closing doors that would not serve my purpose for your life. Trust me even when you do not understand. Trust me even when answers seem delayed. Trust me even when circumstances appear unchanged. For I am still working. I am still leading. I am still providing. I am still protecting. I am still healing. I am still restoring. And above all, I am still bringing peace to your heart. Let that peace settle deeply within you. Let it quiet every anxious thought. Let it remind you that your future is secure because it rests in my hands, and there is no safer place for your heart to be than there. My beloved, I know there are days when your heart feels heavy for reasons you cannot fully explain. Sometimes it is not one particular problem that troubles you. It is the accumulation of many burdens, many disappointments, many moments of uncertainty gathered together over time. You wake up carrying concerns about the future. You go to sleep wondering whether things will ever change. You try to remain hopeful, yet there are moments when weariness settles deeply within your soul. Beloved, I want you to know that I understand those moments completely. I am not distant from your struggles. I am not unaware of your pain. I am closer than you realize, and my heart is moved by every concern that weighs upon you. My child, there is a reason I continually call you back to my presence. It is because I know that the world will constantly offer you reasons to worry. Every day presents new uncertainties. Every season brings its own challenges. If you place your confidence solely in circumstances, your peace will rise and fall with every change around you. But when your confidence is rooted in me, you discover a peace that remains steady even when everything else feels unstable. That is the peace I am bringing to your heart today. It is not a fragile peace that disappears at the first sign of trouble. It is a peace that comes from knowing that I am in control, even when life feels unpredictable. Beloved, there are prayers you have prayed so many times that you have begun to wonder whether anything is happening at all. You have asked, you have waited, you have hoped, yet the answers seem delayed. I know how easy it is to become discouraged in those moments. I know how tempting it can be to believe that silence means nothing is changing. But my beloved, silence is not the same as absence. Just because you cannot see me working does not mean I am not moving. Some of my greatest works happen in places hidden from human eyes. Just as roots grow beneath the ground before a tree becomes visible above it, many of the answers you are waiting for are developing beneath the surface even now. My child, I want you to think about Samuel. Before he recognized my voice clearly, he had to learn how to listen. At first, he did not understand who was calling him, yet I remained patient. I continued speaking until he learned to recognize my voice. In the same way, I am teaching you to listen beyond the noise of fear, beyond the voices of doubt, beyond the distractions that surround you. My voice is not the voice that tells you to give up. My voice is not the voice that fills you with despair. My voice is not the voice that reminds you of every failure. My voice calls you forward. My voice reminds you of hope. My voice reminds you that your future is secure in my hands. My beloved, there are times when you feel as though you must have enough strength for every challenge that may come tomorrow. Yet I never asked you to carry tomorrow's burdens today. I only ask you to trust me with today. Tomorrow will bring its own grace. Tomorrow will bring its own provision. Tomorrow will bring its own strength. The reason you feel overwhelmed at times is because you are trying to carry things that belong in my hands. You are trying to solve problems that I have already promised to help you through. You are trying to control outcomes that only I can control. Beloved, release them. Release the pressure. Release the worry. Release the endless need to figure everything out. I want you to imagine a child resting peacefully in the arms of a loving father. The child is not worried about where the next meal will come from. The child is not anxious about tomorrow's responsibilities. The child rests because the child trusts the one who is carrying them. My child, that is the kind of trust I desire for you, not a trust that ignores reality, but a trust that knows you are being carried by someone greater than your circumstances, a trust that remains steady because it is anchored in my faithfulness. Beloved, I know that some wounds take time to heal. I know that some disappointments leave deeper marks than others. There are moments from your past that still linger in your memory. There are words spoken over you that hurt more than anyone realized. There are situations that changed you in ways you did not expect. Yet I want you to understand something beautiful. Your wounds do not disqualify you from my purpose. Your scars do not prevent my plans from unfolding. In many cases, the very places where you have been hurt become the places where my healing power shines most brightly. My child, do not be afraid of the future. I am already there. Do not fear the unknown, because nothing is unknown to me. Do not allow anxiety to convince you that you must face tomorrow alone. The same hand that has guided you through every previous season will continue guiding you through the seasons ahead. The same love that sustained you yesterday will sustain you tomorrow. The same grace that carried you through past difficulties will carry you through whatever lies ahead. My beloved, there is a new level of peace I want to establish within your heart. A peace that is not dependent upon circumstances. A peace that is not shaken by delays. A peace that remains firm when answers have not yet arrived. This peace grows every time you choose trust over fear. It grows every time you remember my faithfulness. It grows every time you bring your worries to me instead of carrying them alone. And as this peace grows within you, you will begin to see situations differently. The things that once caused panic will become opportunities for trust. The things that once filled you with anxiety will become reminders of my faithfulness. Beloved, brighter days are ahead, not because life will suddenly become perfect, but because you are learning to walk through every season with me. You are learning that my presence is greater than any problem. You are learning that my love is stronger than any fear. You are learning that my peace can reach places within your heart that nothing else can touch. Stay close to me. Continue trusting me. Continue placing your hope in me. For I am holding you securely, guiding you faithfully, and bringing peace to your heart one day, one moment, and one step at a time. Beloved, there is something I want you to remember. Whenever the weight of life feels too heavy to carry, you do not have to earn my love. You do not have to prove your worth to me. You do not have to achieve a certain level of success before I care about your struggles. I loved you before you understood how deeply you were loved. I knew you before anyone else knew your name. I saw every day of your life before a single one of them came to pass. When you feel overlooked by others, remember that you are fully seen by me. When you feel misunderstood, remember that I know every detail of your heart. When you feel forgotten, remember that I have never taken my eyes off you for even a moment. My child, some of the battles you are facing right now are not visible to those around you. There are struggles taking place within your thoughts. There are concerns you rarely speak about. There are fears that sometimes appear without warning and attempt to steal your peace. I know how exhausting that can be. I know how difficult it is to smile on the outside while carrying burdens on the inside. Yet I want you to know that you do not have to fight those battles alone. Every anxious thought can be brought to me. Every fear can be surrendered to me. Every burden can be placed in my hands. My beloved, I know there have been moments when you questioned your own strength. You looked at the challenges before you and wondered whether you had what it takes to continue. You saw the mountain ahead and felt small in comparison. But what if I told you that your strength was never meant to come from yourself? What if I told you that the reason you have made it this far is because my strength has been sustaining you all along? There were moments when you thought you were holding on to me, but in reality, it was my hand holding on to you. There were seasons when you believed your faith was carrying you, but it was my grace carrying you through every storm. Beloved, think about the disciples when they found themselves in the middle of a storm. The winds were strong. The waves were rising. Fear began to fill their hearts because everything around them seemed out of control. Yet what they failed to realize in that moment was that I was still with them in the boat. The storm was real, but so was my presence. The waves were powerful, but my power was greater. My child, there may be storms around you right now. There may be situations that feel uncertain, overwhelming, or beyond your control. But do not forget who is in the boat with you. Do not forget who is walking beside you. Do not forget who holds authority over every storm that tries to enter your life. My beloved, I want you to stop measuring my faithfulness by your current circumstances. If you only look at what is happening around you, you may miss what I am doing within you. Sometimes I calm the storm around you. Other times I calm the storm within you. Sometimes I change the situation. Other times I change your perspective. But in every season, I remain faithful. In every season, I remain near. In every season, I continue working for your good, even when you cannot immediately understand how. My child, I see the areas where you need healing. I see the disappointments you have carried for years. I see the wounds that others never knew existed. I see the places where trust was broken and the places where hope seemed to fade. And I want you to know that my healing is reaching those places even now. Healing is not always instant. Sometimes it unfolds gradually, like the sunrise slowly pushing back the darkness of night. Yet every day, my light is working within you. Every day, my love is restoring something that was broken. Every day, my grace is rebuilding what pain tried to destroy. Beloved, there is no chapter of your story that is beyond my ability to redeem. There is no mistake too great for my mercy. There is no failure too deep for my forgiveness. There is no situation too complicated for my wisdom. I am able to take what was meant to harm you and use it for your growth. I am able to bring beauty from places that once seemed hopeless. I am able to create new beginnings where others only see endings. Never underestimate what I can do with a surrendered heart. My beloved, I know you sometimes look at the future and wonder what lies ahead. You wonder whether your prayers will be answered. You wonder whether the breakthrough will come. You wonder whether the promises you have been holding on to will ever become reality. Listen carefully. The future is not something you need to fear. The future is something I am already preparing. Long before you arrive at tomorrow, I am already there. Long before a need appears, I already know how I will provide. Long before a challenge arises, I already know how I will guide you through it. My child, trust is built one day at a time. Peace is established one decision at a time. Faith grows one step at a time. Do not become discouraged because you are not where you want to be yet. Growth is happening. Progress is happening. Transformation is happening. Even when it feels slow, I am still working. Even when it feels hidden, I am still moving. Even when it feels uncertain, I am still guiding your path. Beloved, I want you to release the burden of trying to predict every outcome. Release the need to understand every detail. Release the pressure of trying to control things that belong in my hands. Instead, focus on staying close to me. Focus on trusting me today. Focus on walking faithfully through the season you are in right now. When tomorrow arrives, I will provide what you need for tomorrow. When new challenges arise, I will provide new strength. When new opportunities appear, I will provide wisdom and direction. My beloved, your heart has carried enough worry. Your mind has carried enough fear. Today, I am inviting you into deeper peace, a peace that comes from knowing that you are loved, a peace that comes from knowing that you are protected, a peace that comes from knowing that your life is securely held within my hands. Let that peace settle over you like a gentle river. Let it wash away the fears that have troubled you. Let it quiet the questions that have kept you awake. Let it remind you that you are never alone, never forgotten, and never beyond the reach of my love. For I am your Father, your shepherd, your protector, and your guide. And no matter what lies ahead, I will continue walking beside you. I will continue strengthening you. I will continue comforting you. I will continue leading you. And through every season, every challenge, and every victory, I will continue bringing peace to your heart until that peace becomes stronger than every fear you have ever faced. My beloved, as these moments together draw to a close, I want you to carry one final truth with you. No matter what you face when this message ends, no matter what challenges await you tomorrow, no matter what uncertainties remain unanswered, you do not walk alone. I am with you. I have always been with you. Through every valley, every storm, every disappointment, every victory, and every season of waiting, my presence has never left your side. Beloved, I know there are still questions in your heart. There may still be situations you do not fully understand. There may still be prayers you are waiting to see answered. But do not let what you do not know distract you from what you do know. You know that I am faithful. You know that I am good. You know that I have carried you this far. You know that I have never abandoned you. Let those truths become the foundation upon which your peace rests. My child, when fear tries to return, remember my promises. When anxiety attempts to steal your joy, remember my faithfulness. When doubt whispers that nothing is changing, remember that I am always working, even when you cannot see it. Do not allow temporary circumstances to define your outlook. Lift your eyes above the moment you are living in, and remember that I see the complete picture. I know how every chapter connects. I know how every delay will make sense. I know how every struggle will be transformed into something meaningful. Trust me with the parts you do not yet understand. My beloved, there is a future ahead of you that is filled with my presence. There are blessings you have not yet seen. There are prayers that are moving toward their answers. There are doors I will open at the appointed time. There are opportunities I am preparing. There are moments of joy, healing, restoration, and breakthrough that are already being woven into your story. Do not lose hope now. Do not grow weary in your waiting. Continue walking with me. Continue trusting me. Continue placing your hand in mine. Beloved, I want you to leave this moment with a lighter heart than when you arrived. Release the burdens you have been carrying. Release the fears that have troubled your thoughts. Release the pressure to have every answer. Place it all into my hands. Let me carry what has become too heavy for you. Let me calm the storm within you. Let me remind you that your life is secure because it rests in my care. My child, you are loved more deeply than you can comprehend. You are seen more clearly than you realize. You are valued more greatly than you know. Nothing about your life is insignificant to me. Every tear matters. Every prayer matters. Every act of faith matters. Every step you take toward me matters. I delight in you, and my heart is filled with love for you. So tonight, rest. Rest knowing that I am watching over you. Rest knowing that I am working on your behalf. Rest knowing that I am making a way even where you cannot yet see one. Rest knowing that my plans for you remain secure. Rest knowing that my grace will meet you again tomorrow just as it has met you today. My beloved, I am bringing peace to your heart today. Not a temporary peace, not a fragile peace, but a lasting peace rooted in my presence. Let that peace settle deeply within your soul. Let it become stronger than your fears, greater than your worries, and deeper than your doubts. Carry it with you into every new day. Carry it into every conversation, every challenge, and every opportunity that lies ahead. And whenever you feel overwhelmed, whenever you feel uncertain, whenever you feel alone, remember these words. I am with you. I am for you. I am guiding you. I am strengthening you. I am loving you. And I will never leave you nor forsake you. Take heart, my beloved. The night will not last forever. The dawn is coming. Brighter days are ahead. And through it all, my peace will remain with you. I love you, my child. Rest in my presence, trust in my promises, and walk forward with confidence, for I am holding your hand, and I will lead you safely every step of the way. Amen.